Yeah, hi there, and my name is Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass the TOEFL IBT. These comments are for M, and you sent me an email just a few minutes ago, and I'm going to take a look at it right now. I might do a few corrections too. So you say, I am an international I would probably change it to say this. I am an international full-time student in Boston. Then you can say I enrolled to this university to shape my skills and get 90 in the TOEFL exam to get acceptance at MIT. Wow, now that is a good university. You say, I got 14 on the reading, 16 on the listening, 22 on the speaking, and 20 on the writing. You say, I tried many times to get higher scores in reading, but my improvements, let's see here, are very slow. You need to use an adverb after a linking verb. I mean, you need to use an adjective after a linking verb. So, but my improvements are very slow. You say the last chance. You want to put this right after the word chance. So let's take this idea here and delete. I would say it like this. The last chance to get a score of 90 is on January 30th. I discovered that I didn't study very well, but now I am working hard to get 90. Now you're saying, is your course will? You can't use two auxiliary verbs in the same sentence here, but you could do this. You can say, will your course help me to get 90 in a month since I am a student in the university and the communication in academia is every day in my classes. All right, I see what you're saying here. So you're saying that you're already getting a lot of practice listening and speaking and reading and doing all those things. It's tough. I'm going to say no. You will probably not be able to reach your goal in 1 month. You simply have too many language problems. I mean, if you just saw me go through your email, you have some very basic English type problems, and it's not going to be solved in just 30 days, unfortunately. So the answer is no. My recommendations are, if you're trying to go from 72 to 90, and let me just explain something here. Sometimes it's shocking when I give comments to some TOEFLers online, but I can't. I am an honest person. I'm not going to say that I can help you reach your goal in 30 days when it's not going to happen. Part of your difficulty here is, even though you are a student in the university and you are doing a lot of communication, you have to focus a lot of your studies, a lot of your effort right now will be focusing on passing your classes, not necessarily on improving your English abilities. So you probably, maybe, I don't know, it's just going to be tough for you. So my suggestions for you, my best guess right now to go from 72 to 90 based on the problems you're having, just the problems you're having in writing, you're probably looking at anywhere from 3 to maybe even 6 months of very solid study before you'll be able to reach your goal. And my comments to you focus in 3 specific areas. Now, you can use my course however you want. If you do join my course, one benefit is you can start posting pronunciation, speaking, and writing practice tests, and I'll start giving you feedback in those areas. But more than likely, it's probably going to take you more than 30 days to solve all the problems you need before you're going to reach your goal. Your reading score here, it's not even 50%. You got to think about that for a minute. You're only 14 points out of 30 on the reading section. You're only 16 points out of 30 on the listening section. So you're barely 50% in that area. Okay, so here's my comments. First of all, get in the habit of reading and listening every day for about 45 minutes. That gives you an hour and a half right there. So with your reading, you want to read newspapers, magazines, and longer books. When you're doing your listening practice, you can focus on English TV. You're living here in the United States. How about news, science, history, and documentary programs? Now, in both cases, it's not enough to just read and listen, but you have to work on being actively involved in the reading and the listening practice. That means you start taking notes. You want to take notes on the main and the most important supporting points of those reading and listening passages. And then, M, you should be writing right now about 3 academic summaries every week. Practice makes perfect. You will get better at this, but you want to focus on the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and the listening passages and write 3 250-word academic summaries each week. You need to do this every week, week after week, month after month. Number 2, you should also be speaking about this information, and you absolutely want to record your voice talking about these reading and listening passages. This is very important. Now, as you listen to your recordings, pay attention to your delivery, which is pronunciation. Pay attention to your language use, which means grammar and vocabulary. And you have a lot of problems with that right now. And you should also pay attention to your topic development, which means how you organize and develop the information. Of course, your notes right now won't be complete in the beginning, but as you practice, you will get better at taking notes about the reading and the listening passages, and then you will improve your ability to write and speak about that information. So that's really the first main idea. The first main thing here is to start reading and listening to academic type information. Now, the second thing you can do is to start going through the lessons in my online TOEFL course. Right? So my recommendation for you, because your language skills are kind of basic right now, you're not anywhere close to getting a 90 based on the results that you're telling me, I recommend first of all go through my lessons by focusing in the vocabulary, pronunciation, and the grammar sections of my course. That's what you want to do first. Now, it'll probably take you more than a month just to finish and learn the information in those lessons. But this is important because you can improve your vocabulary, you can improve your pronunciation, and you'll be much better with your grammar skills. I'm telling you, you have a lot of basic problems with your grammar. So first of all, go through the pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar sections first. Once you finish those parts of my course, then go through the listening and the reading sections of my course, especially the reading. This is very important for you because you need to really improve your reading proficiency. Now, finally, once you've done that, then you go through the writing and the speaking sections of my course. Now, if you approach my course that way, it's going to help you learn the information, I think, at the right times and help you solve the language issues that you have. Now, my third suggestion here is to complete. You should start taking, you might do these every month or every 2 months, complete full-length IBT practice test. If you go to the 8th section of my course, once you're one of my students, you'll notice for an additional cost, I do offer some full-length IBT practice tests for you to take. This is important because taking a full-length IBT practice test has advantages. First, you get familiar with the structure and the format of the TOEFL IBT exam. Secondly, you will become more familiar with your strengths and weaknesses when you take the TOEFL IBT exam. Number 3, you'll get a chance to see more specifically what your strengths and weaknesses are on the exam. So you can make improvements by taking full-length IBT practice tests. And actually, I repeated one of my ideas twice. My third suggestion is you build the strength and the stamina that you need during the TOEFL exam. Taking a 5-hour exam is not easy, and it's not easy to concentrate during 5 hours of testing. So by taking a full-length practice test, you get used to the rigorous time of taking the TOEFL exam for the 4 or 5 hours that it takes. Alright, Em, so that's pretty much it. Those are my suggestions. So in this particular video, unfortunately, my answer was no. Based on your current score, you probably will not be able to reach 90 in just 30 days. In fact, you only have 22 days because I'm answering your video here, or I'm answering you by video on January 8th, which actually gives you 22 days to reach your goal, and it's just not realistic. You're setting yourself up for failure. So I gave you 3 specific suggestions in this video about how you should engage in a regular routine of reading and listening, and then speaking and writing about that information. That gives you about an hour and a half every day for a few months. The second suggestion I gave you was to go through the lessons in my online TOEFL course. You can probably spend another 1 or 2 hours every day just doing that. So now you're at least maybe 3 to 4 hours every day of studying the TOEFL. My third suggestion was to take some full-length IBT practice tests so you can mark your progress from time to time. And that's it. So if you follow these 3 suggestions I've given you, you will be able to reach your goal. My best guess is you're probably looking at, depending on how consistent you are with your study and how often you study following my plan, you're probably looking at about 3 to 6 months before you can reach your goal. Alright, now remember, I've given you a suggestion in this video of how you can use my course. Of course, when you join my online TOEFL course, you can use my course any way you like, however you like. So there's no restrictions. I just gave you a specific suggestion of how you can use my course based on the information that you gave me. Alright, anyway, I want to say Happy New Year to you and your family. Happy New Year 2015. Thank you for your comments and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.